Barcelona's summer seemed triumphant until registration day exposed an unexpected weakness. Promises of reinforcements and a Euros 100 million arrangement linked to premium seat rights painted a picture of financial recovery, but only Euros 58 million landed and was validated immediately, while Euros 42 million remained on a payment schedule that auditors refused to treat as available cash. The consequence was painfully concrete. Bardghji, one of the club's brightest young talents, was left unregistered, forced into a waiting room of paperwork and timing, even as coaches and fans had already begun to imagine his minutes on the pitch. That single administrative omission became a lens through which the whole transfer window could be read, not as a finished victory, but as a work still vulnerable to the demands of accounting. The explanation is not mystical. Barcelona pursued a clever route to regain the so-called one spending freedom, using commercial and exploitation deals to unlock revenue tied to stadium assets. On paper, handing rights to premium seats to third parties promised immediate liquidity and the breathing room to register signings. In practice, accounting and auditing operate on the immediate certainty of funds, not on the optimism of scheduled receipts. Auditors validated the cleared Euros 58 million and declined to treat the remaining Euros 42 million, contracted but deferred, as present income. That conservative, rule-bound decision is designed to protect clubs against overreach, but in the short term, it leaves sporting planners without the resources they assumed they would have. For players, the arithmetic is brutal. Bardghji trained with confidence and expectation, only to discover that registration, a bureaucratic stamp, determines whether he will step onto a matchday sheet. Talent and preparation mean little if paperwork and certified funds are absent. A young player's development can be arrested not by a coach's choice, but by a ledger entry. That disconnect between sporting merit and financial timing turns careers into collateral for complex deals and teaches a harsh lesson about how administrative timing can alter trajectories. The club's choices in response have visible effects. When cash cannot be counted, decisions that should be tactical become transactional. Which signings to prioritize, which players to move on, which guarantees to secure. Short-term fixes, rushed exits, temporary loans, or emergency sales can bleed the long-term plan dry. Rival clubs watch closely. When one giant stumbles on timing, competitors learn where leverage exists. Sponsors and investors also notice. Confidence in governance is fragile, and high-profile public hitches erode reputational capital that took years to build. Yet this moment also reveals the governance mechanisms that keep the sport sustainable. Auditors' caution prevents clubs from spending sugar-high sums based on promises that might not materialize. The 1-1 rule is blunt, but it enforces a discipline that historically many clubs have lacked. Barcelona's creative deal bought time and room to maneuver, but it could not replace immediate validated funds. The board insists the remaining money will arrive according to agreement and that guarantees are being arranged to satisfy auditors. If that happens quickly, the club should be able to return to normal registration practices and integrate its new signings without further administrative drama. Until then, the story is one of uneasy waiting and strategic recalibration. The summer headlines and the transfer photos may still translate into on-field performance, but for the moment, the full potential of that work is gated by balance sheet timing. Fans feel the frustration in shorthand. A missing name on a roster becomes a question shouted across social feeds, while directors and accountants wrestle with legal clauses and payment schedules. The larger lesson for Barcelona and for every club that admires financial creativity is clear. Innovation must be matched by ironclad guarantees and timing that satisfies the people who certify reality. Only then can ambition convert into the simple, unglamorous requirement that matters most, a player registered and ready to change a game. For now, watchers will wait to see whether the pending funds arrive and whether paperwork finally catches up with aspiration so that football can be decided where it belongs, on the pitch.